Have you ever wondered? Why does the one who emotionally destroyed you suddenly reappear as if nothing happened? Why, even after discarding you like you were nothing, does he come back? With a message, a "Hey stranger," an emoji, trying to reconnect? This is not love. This is control. And worse, it's part of a psychological game you were never invited to play, but were forced into. Studies show that over 60% of victims of narcissistic abuse report that their abuser returned, even after months or years of silence, not out of love, but out of ego, out of need, out of emotional supply. Today, we're going to explore the psychological background of the narcissist. You'll understand why he comes back, what he truly feels, what he wants from you, and why this never had anything to do with love. But before we dive into this life-changing content, I want to ask you something. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a woman who needs to wake up. Every click from you can be a broken chain, and by the end of this video, I'll show you the only kind of closure that truly frees you from this destructive cycle. So take a deep breath. The truth may hurt, but it also heals. Let's begin. When a narcissist discards you, it feels final, cold, cruel, suddenly cuts contact, ignores you, blocks you, or simply disappears. But what few people understand is that this ending isn't final. In the narcissist's mind, discarding you doesn't mean ending the relationship. It just means, at that moment, you stopped fulfilling the role he expects, boosting his ego, being available, serving, admiring, obeying. To him, you're an emotional object, something to be used, discarded, and then retrieved when needed. The narcissist doesn't say goodbye, he pauses. And that pause can last days, months, or even years. Imagine a player with a remote in his hand. He pauses you when he's done, then hits play when he wants back what you gave: attention, validation, care, devotion. But the problem isn't only him. It's also the wound he left in you. Because when someone discards you without explanation, what's left is a deep hole full of questions, pain, and a devastating echo. Why wasn't I enough? That's the door he walks through again. He knows you need answers. He knows you were left waiting for closure, and that's exactly what he withholds to maintain emotional control over you. The end, for the narcissist, is a tactic. The real ending only happens when you close that door from the inside. And here's a truth that needs to be said. Even if it hurts, if he discarded you once, he can do it again. And each return, no matter how sweet it seems, is just the beginning of a new cycle of destruction. You remember how it all started. He seemed perfect, attentive, affectionate, full of compliments. A great listener, he said he'd never met anyone like you. That wasn't coincidence. It was strategy. This is the first stage of the narcissistic cycle, idealization. In this phase, the narcissist puts you on a pedestal. He observes you, learns your vulnerabilities, your desires, your emptiness, and molds himself to become everything you ever dreamed of. But don't be fooled. He didn't fall in love with you. He fell in love with what you could give him. Unconditional love, attention, submission, blind admiration. You became a mirror in which he saw his power reflected. Then comes the devaluation phase. Slowly, you start to feel something is wrong. The criticism begins. The silence increases. The comparisons appear. The promises vanish. He starts tearing down exactly what he once praised. You ask yourself, what did I do wrong? But the truth is, you did nothing wrong. The mistake was his, but he'll make you carry the guilt. This devaluation is meant to confuse you, exhaust you, and keep you on edge, trying harder to please him. You become an emotional puppet, trying to win back someone who's already decided to punish you, and then he discards you, leaves your life like you never mattered. But this isn't the end, because after idealization and devaluation comes the reappearance. He returns, with longing, with nostalgia, with promises. He says he's changed, that he understands now, that you're one of a kind. But this isn't love. It's the beginning of the cycle again. This return is like a serpent biting its own tail. You go back to idealization, then get devalued again, and soon discarded once more. It's a vicious cycle, and the more you allow it, the harder it becomes to escape. But here's the good news. You can break the cycle, and in the next chapters, I'll show you how. So what really motivates the narcissist's return? The answer is simple and devastating. He needs emotional fuel, and your pain, your love, your attention, that's the fuel he seeks. In psychology, we call this narcissistic supply. It's like the narcissist is an emotional vampire. He feeds on your energy, your validation, your suffering. Without it, he feels empty, irrelevant, without identity. While you were with him, you were a rich source of supply. You complimented him, you excused him, you forgave him. You loved him even when he didn't deserve it. That kind of unconditional love is a feast for the narcissistic ego. But when he discards you, he believes he'll find another source. Desire to be loved unconditionally, and he uses that against you. Phrases like, "You're too sensitive," "You misunderstood," "You pressure me too much," "I can't handle your crises." These phrases are like invisible knives that slice your sense of reality. Suddenly, the villain seems like the victim, and you look crazy. This has a name. Gasp. A form of psychological abuse, where the abuser distorts reality to make you doubt your own sanity, and the more you doubt yourself, the more vulnerable you become, and the easier it is for him to control you. The guilt he plants in you is not yours, but he waters it daily with insinuations, silence, judgmental looks, and you begin to apologize for asking for respect, for wanting love. But here's the truth that sets you free. You are not too much. You're simply a woman who wants to be truly loved, and he doesn't come back because he understands that. He comes back because he knows the guilt still lives inside you, and as long as you carry it, he has a place to hide. This is one of the most haunting questions for those who've been with a narcissist. Does he miss me? And here's an honest and painful answer. He misses what you did for him, not who you are. A narcissist doesn't miss with the heart. He misses with the ego. He misses being admired, being forgiven, being desired even when he was wrong, being the center of your world. You were the mirror reflecting the shine he wanted to see. And when you leave, or when you start seeing him for who he really is, that mirror shatters, and he panics. But that isn't love. It's a craving for control. True love is built on empathy, care, emotional responsibility. A narcissist doesn't miss you the way one human misses another. He misses the power he had over you. That's why he returns when he senses you're moving on. Not because he loves you, but because watching you free yourself hurts him more than seeing you in pain. And sometimes, he might even seem sincere upon return. He cries, he says he was wrong, promises to change. But if you go back, the cycle restarts. What once seemed like a soul connection becomes yet another emotional battlefield. So remember this like a mantra. He doesn't miss you. He misses the effect you had on him, and that will never be enough for real love. Even after everything he did to you, you still hope one day he'll realize the damage he caused, return remorseful, ask forgiveness, and love you the way you deserve. That's not weakness, it's hope. And hope is powerful, but in the wrong hands, it becomes a prison. The narcissist knows you're still hoping, and he uses that as a weapon. He tosses you crumbs of affection, makes promises he never keeps, says he's trying to change or that you're the only one who understands him. All of it sparks a glimmer of hope in you. Because deep down, you want to believe love can win. You want to believe he can be different. And mostly, you want to believe that your love wasn't in vain. But here's the most painful and freeing truth. He won't change. At least, not for you. Not for anyone. Because to change, he would have to recognize the pain he causes. He would need to take responsibility, ask for help, strip away his ego. And the narcissist doesn't want to lose control. He wants to keep playing the game. That hope that he'll change is what keeps you trapped. It's what makes you reply to messages. It's what makes you give another chance. It's what makes you doubt yourself. And he knows that. He feeds that hope just enough so that you never walk away for good. But today, you need to hear this. Waiting for a narcissist to change is like watering a plastic flower. It looks real, but it will never bloom. His silence may seem like peace, but often it's strategy, a calculated pause, a manipulative absence. You think he's gone, but he's still there, watching from a distance, in silence, waiting. He sees your posts, watches your stories, notices every quote, every smile, every change, and he decodes it all like a message. Is she still thinking about me? Has she moved on? Is she trying to make me jealous? The narcissist plays in the invisible and uses absence as a tactic of power. This behavior has a name, hovering. It's the act of staying emotionally close, floating just out of reach, without direct contact, but always present, always monitoring. And it's not by accident. It's another form of psychological abuse, because it keeps you alert, doubtful, waiting. He vanishes, but leaves subtle traces, views, and doesn't reply. Likes an old photo, shows up at places you go, sends messages like I dreamed about you. It's not longing, it's provocation. It's a reminder, I still exist in your mind. And when he senses that you're starting to move on, that your energy is changing, that your soul is healing, he reappears. Not to celebrate your freedom, but to break your rising strength. That's why his silence shouldn't be seen as peace. It should be seen as preparation. A strategic pause until he decides to strike again. But now you're aware, and when awareness comes, the game changes. He came back. With that smooth voice, with the same charming look, with sweet words you've heard before, but now they don't hypnotize you like they used to. This is the most delicate moment, the reunion, because he arrives full of promises and intentions. But you already know that behind the charm lies a familiar script. So what do? How do you react without falling again? First, remember, you owe him nothing. No response. No explanation. No welcome. You owe yourself respect, protection, and truth. Here are some clear steps to hold your strength. Don't react on impulse. He wants your emotion, your anger, your longing, your tears. Be the opposite. Strategic silence or coldness. Nothing disarms him more than having no effect anymore. Don't revive old promises. If he says he's changed, ask, what exactly did you do to change? Real change has action, not words. Set firm boundaries. If you decide to reply, be clear, I'm not available for restarts with someone who caused me so much harm, or simply, this no longer interests me. Direct, no loopholes. Avoid physical encounters. Seeing him in person can reactivate emotional bonds that haven't fully broken. Distance is your ally. Use it. Trust what you saw, felt, and lived. Don't romanticize. Don't fall for nostalgia. You are where you are for a reason. You survived. And your awakening? This is your chance to do something he never expected. Close the door. For real. Not out of pride, but out of dignity. For the woman you're becoming, you thought the end was when he left, when he blocked you, when he ignored you, when he vanished, like you meant nothing. But today you know that wasn't the end. That was the beginning of your liberation. Because the true end isn't when the narcissist discards you. It's when you close the door from the inside. It's when you stop asking, will he come back? Does he love me? Should I give him another chance? And you start asking, what did I allow? What do I need to heal in me? Why do I want someone who doesn't choose me? That's the turning point. The moment you realize that loving someone should never cost your mental health, nor your identity, nor your light. You're not weak for having loved. You're human. You gave everything you had. But now it's time to give it to yourself. Closing that door isn't hate. It's not revenge. It's self-care. It's rebirth. And when you close it, you stop being the object of his game. You become the author of your own story. And him he might knock again, but he'll find no one left to open it, because the woman he once knew has healed. If this video spoke to your soul, like, subscribe, and share it with a woman who needs to wake up. Your click can save another story. And if you want to go deeper in this healing process, download our free guide in the description. AI image prompts. AI woman standing with her back to a closed door, glowing with light from within, symbolizing choice and rebirth. A silhouette of a woman walking through a field of flowers, leaving behind a dissolving shadow in the shape of a man. A broken mirror reflecting a woman being rebuilt, with flowers growing through the cracks and a calm look in her eyes.